Hello, hello. This is Strategic Change Guide podcast, and it's Motivational Monday by Jim and Lucy. And today we do our cleaning because we enjoy taking mop and all the cleaning supply out and just start making it all shiny and nice and everything. And I'm kidding right now because show me the person who likes cleaning actually. I mean, there are people probably. I'm not sure if it's healthy to say, but it might be OCD if you really enjoy it. I enjoy clean space, yes, but today we are talking not about cleaning your apartment, not about cleaning your house. Not only that, we are talking about you cleaning your life, your beliefs, your systems, your processes, your goals and everything. Just reflect on what you really want and then just shake it and make it work differently, make it work for you.
Yes, we can do that. And it's not really difficult to do. It's just that we recognize that collectively, it seems as if the whole world is taking this long yawn. And it's lasted through the winter, now springtime, and we know just another month or so away we're going to have summertime coming. And we recognize that we can't always do everything that we've done before. Well, fine. We work with what we have and we make good enjoyment. But just as we go through the house every weekend usually, and we're doing the dusting, we're putting on new sheets and blankets on the bed, we're buying new foods, we're washing our clothes and so on, how often do we really declutter our own life, our own space around us? And we bring in the same thing, the same baggage into our relationships, into our own life every day. If there's anything that we think about decluttering often, it's decluttering somebody else, right? We want to make sure we remind somebody to declutter this or change this in their life so it makes us comfortable. But how about us making us comfortable? One of the things we can do is just, for example, I was reading the other day and I read of a research that showed that the positive effects of decluttering both physically and mentally is something that we really should be concerned about. And in the study, it showed that clearing clutter makes us more creative and productive and less irritable and distracted. So we shouldn't forget about our mental clutter as well as like those destructive and distressing thoughts, feelings, and memories that we tend to carry around with us all the time. And it's easy for us to focus on those things. But let's try doing a couple of these things, like creating space for new energy. I like to have my little desk over here. Lucy has her space to work together, but she has her space that's comfortable, that's outlined the way she wants it. I have my desk that's facing outside with the magnificent view that we have of the city and all. I like the sunshine facing me. I like to be able to get up, back and forth, and have my own playlist going on that I can feel comfortable. When you find your own special corner, your own special place, and declutter it from time to time. So say goodbye once and for all to all those maybe pieces of clothing that you have lying around the house. I once spent some time at a friend's house years ago, and their closet had a huge closet in the guest room. But this is without any embellishment. Their closet was so stuffed with clothing that it was all virtually impossible to get a new item inside the closet. Everything was stuffed. And it was so stuffed, there were things that they were never going to wear again, and I doubt they had ever worn. They were just stuffed with clothes in the closet. Well, how often do you think they declutter those? I like to have this habit that each year I'll go in and remove items that I didn't wear the previous year. And then I'll look online or go to the store and find out what's in fashion now. And I'll see what I can use to make more fashionable. And if I haven't worn it in a year, then all likelihood, A, it's out of style. B, I don't need it and I'm not going to be wearing it again. Why just keep it there just to say, well, it cost me a lot of money. But why? It's out of style now. So now I either give it away, or I package and give it to somebody in the family, or I'll give it to a thrift shop or somewhere. But I'm just not going to wear it. So try doing some of those steps. Even if you're not going to use it, move it out. Another thing we can do is look around the kitchen and we'll say, okay, now what are the items that we thought we'd be using? The pots and pans or the other items? How about all those Christmas appliances that we thought we'd be using? Get rid of those that you're no longer using at all. How about you, Lucy? I know you're better, more organized than I am.
No, that's not true. To me, it's not just about walking around the house, yes, and decluttering. To me, yes, it's basic principle of life. You just look around and see things that you don't use. You need to get rid of it. Either give away or throw away. It doesn't matter. And it also relates to your life, to your work, to the tasks you have on your list. If you have planned that this summer you're going for vacation, and before doing so you need to do this, or you plan to finish this book with this title, and you know how heavy it feels when you have something kind of planned and you wanted to do, but you didn't do anything to that. So it's either you don't have enough time, or you're not motivated enough, or it's not relevant anymore. Maybe the subject of the book, the title of the book that you started is not in your heart, and you're not going to finish it at all. Maybe you need to start a new one. Maybe you need to rename it, or whatever it is. But you can declutter those things too.
Now, Lucy's right. Now, I read my books now, the last couple of years, principally on my mobile phone. Okay, so what I do is that I have Amazon Kindle, and I can, on an unlimited plan, I can check out all these books to read. And they generally, most of them don't cost me anything at all. All right, I just have the plan, I pay a small fee each month, $12 or something, and I can read unlimited books. But I had to get the 10. I can keep 10 books as long as I want. But you know what? I have 10 books in there right now, and I keep trying to add another book. And my point being is that I read books rather quickly, but somehow I have them all cluttered. And the bad thing about it is that when I go to read my favorite book, right now is one on Stalingrad, I keep the other books that I haven't been reading, and they stay there as a negative reminder to remind me of the books I haven't read yet. So Lucy is correct about decluttering all those little things, and it's hard for us to do it because somehow we form this attachment that I have to do it, and I make myself, I'm going to have a punishment if I don't do it. But do as Lucy suggested.
So if you haven't done it and you think you're not going to do it, remove it. You remove those tasks from your list, remove those things from your mind, and feel free of it.
Yes.
You will feel completely different. I remember I used to live most of my life in the apartments that are really old, and those places, like traditionally in Ukraine, mostly will be cluttered because you are saving this glass or pottery or this and that stuff from family member here and there, and it adds on, and it's just terrible. And then I realized I don't want to live that way, and I start cleaning up. And I used an advice that I heard from someone: just look around every single day, look around, pick 2 or 3 items that you know you're not going to use, and get rid of it.
That's right.
Every day. And do it with your life. I mean, if your space decluttered, wonderful. But just look around. Here, the package from something you just bought. This box, you don't need it anymore. Get rid of it.
Right.
Free your space. This is the book you're not going to read anymore because you just don't like it. Get rid of it. Take it off your list. This is the tasks you're not going to do because, for example, your travel plan changed, so you're not going to go shopping for this and that, or you don't need to do this task like prepare some papers or check your finances exactly this week. You don't do it this week. Remove it from your task list.
That's right. Like us men, how many of us don't bother to clip the hairs in our ears? And honey, by the way, did I get those hairs out of my nose? I did? I hope I did. I've admitted it's been on my to-do list every time I shave during the week. Lucy's turning her head for me, okay? She's putting up with her fingers. Don't talk to me. Get away. Side over the other side of the sofa. But us men, you ever see men when you walk to the supermarket sometimes, they have so many hairs out of their nose and their ears that they could just turn them into braids. Right? Well, we don't want that. We want to clean ourselves. And one of the things about it is decluttering so many things in our life. And it's easy to forget about the ears and the nose. It's one of my pet peeves because when I go out shopping sometimes, I am looking at people and I'm thinking about myself. What did I miss? So listen, hygiene in the kitchen, hygiene ourselves, hygiene at home. And one last thing on this subject is that Lucy and I, we have a large condo, and we've been married, and we've always separated our chores. She doesn't have any female chores, and I have manly chores. We just have chores. And so there are things that she's better at in the house than I am. But one of my jobs is to dust, vacuum the floors, and also mop the floors. And it takes a long time. It's a huge house. It takes a long time for me to do it, and we do it 2 or 3 times a week. But we get it done. There's not one of those times where she does all of it or where I do all of it. We have the 2 or 3 times a week where we just separate and we just go and do our chores. So try to do the same thing: declutter and share.
Exactly, and Jim is right. Just take a shower and washing off that smell of you. Because you were lazy to shower past 3 days. It helps you to refresh too, and it feels great. And
she's not looking at me when she says that.
Clean apartment. Clean apartments feel wonderful. To me, it's amazing. Yes, having all the space when it's clean, when it's nice, right?
I think.
So, and by the way, when something breaks in the house, I'm the one who knows where the screwdriver is.
Well, that is true. And how to use a screwdriver, okay? I have to go get a book and watch a video on YouTube how to do it, all right? But I'm really good at hiring someone to do it. Really good.
Jim got to the point when something needs to be done, he first asked me.
That's true, too. I'm sorry to say. I'm not really good at my hands because I really don't want to be. I really don't want to be. I want to write something about it or I want to talk about it. I do. I really don't want to be good with my hands. I just hate doing that. But for those people who are, wonderful. God bless you. I'm just not one of those guys who care to.
So these are our advice to you about this refresh button. Clean everything, declutter everything, including your mind, including your thinking. Smile more often, even if it's hard, even if your heart's breaking, no matter what's happening around. Just make yourself smile. Just make those face muscle work the way like you are smiling, and it will start working for you. I promise.
Yes, and I got to give you a tip. If you feel like you don't feel like smiling one of these days, just think of this one image. Honeymoon night. That'll do it. Put a smile on your face. Just think of it being your honeymoon night.
We need our next honeymoon.
Yes, we can create one today. Create 3 today.
Okay. So, this is Motivational Monday by Jim and Lucy, and these are our tips for you about decluttering. Oh, wow. And refreshing your life.
Yes, one more cup of coffee for us.
Yes, and please check that button on the top of the page that called Become a Patron. You can support our podcast and help us deliver more help to people who really need it. If it's you, just message us.
Okay.